Alright, so over 2 years ago I made this video that there is no good and bad, and I want to get a bit deeper into this. So most people's lives are structured and put in a bubble of good and bad, and this essentially comes from religions, even though we may not actually realize it, because atheists' beliefs are also based on these principles, but they likely do not realize that they follow this good and bad thing. So emotions, for example, which are feelings expressed by the soul through the body, are almost always nowadays put in a category, in the bubble of good and bad. So there's two sides basically, the yin yang, negative, positive. In nature there's no such thing. In nature everything is scattered around because nature doesn't rate or judge. It's humans who do, and living this way is so incredibly destructive to your being and it's going to make you miserable. That's guaranteed. This is also similar to people who believe in time, that there's a structured line of time and we move from year to year, month to month, and so on. But it doesn't work that way. If you believe in Jesus, for example, we are still on the same earth that Jesus lived in. We are still in the same time. We are still in the same year, so to speak, because nothing as such has changed. No time has actually gone by, even if it's 2,000 years now, because that's just man-made, because all that's really happening is bacteria that moves, but this moving isn't time. It's nonsense. So it's quite similar to believing in the good and bad thing, and that's just man putting a structure onto everything. And well, that's brainwash, essentially it is. And there's a reason why the people who rule the world want us to live in this structured world, to divide us and so on. There's a lot of reasons for this. I could be friends with a serial killer and a Christian at the same time, because I'm totally different anyway. I'm quite careless when it comes to such superficial things, whereas those two people could probably not be friends with each other. Guys, we should all do whatever we want, really, because that's essentially the only thing that is going to make you appreciate living. Because if you suppress all of your needs, so to speak, and all of that stuff, is just not going to work out. And most people do actually suppress them because they don't want to not be accepted and get out of the group feeling and such. And it's important to realize what it is you actually want, and if you haven't been actually manipulated to do the things you do. And the things we do, most of our bodily functions are based on our bacteria, and this is also something you should definitely really look into, and this is why food and such is so important, and the bacteria. And don't be afraid of bacteria.
There's no disease created by so-called bacteria. 99.9% of all functions in the body are bacterial. We have 260 bacterial genes to every one human gene. So we're not even 0.01% human. We are bacteria. So the bacteria theory is anti-health.
If you're one of those people who have chosen a side in the world, you're exactly where the Illuminati wants you to be. If you're religious or not, it doesn't matter. But even if you're a Christian or you're a Satanist and you believe that you're doing good or bad, it doesn't make sense, as I've explained in the video, good and bad, because everybody welcomes or doesn't welcome something else, so you could never be doing something welcoming or not welcoming, meaning good or bad, to everybody. That's just one of the reasons why it doesn't make sense, but the essential point here is that if you've chosen these sides, you're missing out on so much, because all of this stuff which is scattered around in reality, in nature, it's actually all very beautiful. It's all part of creation, and I'm able to appreciate this, and I feel actually very blessed that it is so. And whatever happened to me in 2011 and 12, this spiritual thing which I experienced, which sort of woke me up, so to speak, which connected me to my soul and made me sense things through my soul, perceive more than through my body. So not judging things such as murder and such, and actually appreciating the beauty of it. This is what made me into, well, the guy speaking right now. So I very much appreciate this. I'm grateful for it. That's what I'm trying to say. And I've been called a sociopath more than once, and I understand why. And the people who are called psychopaths nowadays, actually, the way I see them, they're actually more sane than the people walking around here. For real. Not always, but they're just people who have gone back to their nature many times and got sick of society. And I'm very antisocial myself, because I'm against this fucking society. I just want to burn it down, and I'm proud of that. So I feel sorry for people who are not able to appreciate autumn, for example, and other times of the year, or people who like winter so much they do not appreciate summer. If you do not appreciate everything, if it's naturally in your environment, there's just something going on you should really look into. And there's really people like that out there who do not see the beauty of autumn and such, and it's so sad. Sort of. And people who have problems with some emotions and, for example, don't like some music genres, because I'm into all the genres, but some people do not like the heavier stuff, for example, because most people have problems with appreciating sadness and anger and such, maybe because they've experienced it so much in their life, and there could be all kinds of reasons. That's already a whole different topic, but that's also just I feel sad for the people who are not able to hear the beauty in black metal. It's so incredible, just like all genres, but it also is. Then some people only listen to black metal and don't appreciate other things, and that's the same thing. Usually it's that or that. Nobody really appreciates the whole beauty of creation nowadays. And this also is related to not being able to hear addicting music, because there's actually such a thing, and people who are able to hear it, but most people are not nowadays, from my experience, and that's because they're unhappy and are not open and do not appreciate everything in life. So, for example, if you're not in the mood for some certain music and you want to change it always, you have an imbalance, so to speak, because when you're happy everything is balanced. You always feel more or less the same. It's hard to explain, but you would not want to change music, for example. You can go and shuffle music from black metal, pop to classic to everything, and you will always, every minute you will appreciate everything. So if you understand approximately something what I mean.
Serial killers do on a small scale what governments do on a large one. People in this day and age are brainwashed and programmed like a computer at being nothing more than puppets.
Just a few less words. If you've ever wondered why all of these tough guys, so to speak, or people who have come out of prison listen to a lot of pop dance kind of music, it's because they've been traumatized by these, by anger and such, and a lot of violence, that now all they want is joy. And it goes every way like that, and these traumas are what makes people go to these lengths, makes them go to one end or the other or the other or the other, and basically create this imbalance. So people walk around very colorful, or people who walk around only in black. There's likely a problem on both sides. I'm not talking about anyone specific now, but the bottom line is, guys, do not live a life where somebody forbids you something. Do not let anybody forbid you things. Whatever you want to do, and more importantly, do not forbid yourself to do things. And most of us actually do that.